I suppose people might recognise Alfred, and Alfred's been chatting to me about his new ventures, but I thought rather than... it was so interesting, I thought, why don't I put the camera on him and he can tell us. And the question I asked you, Alfred, was how did you get into watches, but what have you been doing briefly in context?
So I studied as an automotive designer, car designer.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, it was difficult to find a job. You know, car companies are fewer than watch companies, and car designers are even fewer than watch designers.
Yeah.
So fast forward a few years, I started working in Hong Kong as a watch designer.
Yeah.
Having worked in a manufacturer, Chinese watch manufacturer, OEM manufacturer, broadly speaking. And then soon after, I did a few years in a design studio.
Yeah.
Also working as a watch designer.
Yeah.
And my most recent proper job was as a watch designer as an in-house watch designer.
Right. Okay.
In a watch brand. So it was interesting how Phil and I met, and we kind of clicked immediately, and we liked similar things, similar styles of things. So we decided to embark on this journey.
Okay, and I think any business today, starting up a company, it's always difficult. Even if you're very successful, it can be very challenging. I think obviously money and investment capital is always very challenging. I personally think that passion and having a good product, a good design, is the. Where do you think your passion came from, or your design, your attention to detail? Where did the passion come from?
I think it's just some of us like languages, some of us like painting, and I think I'm basically more drawn to the proportions and aesthetic to watch design rather than the mechanics, how many tourbillons you've got, how many minute repeaters you've got. I'm more drawn towards the artistic expression of watch designs, and it's just a matter of accumulation of years of looking at the things that you like, and also the frustration that you get from looking around and seemingly seeing the same thing repeating again and again and again, and we wanted to do something else, something slightly more on the boundary, outside the boundary even. And I think that's where the passion comes from.
And inspiration, I think you mentioned a couple of people. Who most inspires you? Because I think I'm going to agree with you. Who are the people that inspire you? I imagine it's a lot, actually. I imagine there's many people of inspiration, but who in particular do you like?
Inspiration in terms of?
Watch design and style of watch.
It's more about creating a new design language, perhaps a new language. So brands like Ikepod, Mark Newson and his colleagues who made Ikepod, it's a breakthrough in terms of when it was launched. They were doing 44, 45 mm watches when everyone else was still doing 30, 32 mm kind of watch. Other brands such as Ressons, building a whole new time-telling method is inspiring. We took a different route. We took the route of doing something sculptural when most people are still doing round watches, or looking at other watches for inspiration.
I love your watch. I'll have some photos of it, but it's what grabbed me straight away. Oh, it's there.
It's right here.
Thank you. In fact, let's just put it in front of the camera. That's what drew me in. And on this, coming to Geneva Watch Days on this occasion, I decided to let the watches do the talking, and I knew it was going to look. It looks great. It's super. But we were talking about people that inspired you, or the style of designs that inspired you. And
It's more the people who take risks or make things that is not trendy at the moment.
Yes.
Because when you're copying something or when you're following the trend, you are probably too late already. And we definitely felt like we should be looking ahead and doing something that no one else is doing at that moment. And that was 4 years ago, 4 years ago, and lo and behold, like this year is the year that this type of watches is popular.
Because I think it's quite normal to be inspired, but to create your new design, to have this new inspiration, it's never easy, and I think it's always a skill that some people have, and it's always refreshing. I find it lovely. But it's great chatting to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's great. It's great to meet you, and I'll get more photos and images of your watch. I really like it myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.